Hello, and thank you for joining me on After School with Dr. Crystal. I'm Dr. Crystal Harris, and I'm here to talk about the word of the week, which is deliberate. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for continuing with us with this series. This is actually the fifth word of the week, and last week we talked about the word commitment. As I mentioned, last week's word, commitment, we talked about how commitment is the glue that bonds us to the goals. I think this particular image represents an excellent metaphor for how important commitment is once we have established the goals in our career that we're working towards. So, deliberate is, as a verb, means to think about or discuss an issue very carefully. We think about being intentional, which means making a decision, but being deliberate means making a decision and carefully thinking out the consequences and actually acting on that intention. And here are a few of the synonyms that are often used instead of the word deliberate when it's used as a verb. And here are a few of the synonyms that are often used instead. The second way that we use the word deliberate is as an adjective, as in the idea of deliberate practice. It means to be slow, unhurried, and steady, allowing time for careful decisions and an awareness of the consequences. To do something in a deliberate way as an adjective means to do it in a way that's calculated, considered, with knowledge, with wisdom, in a measured way, in an exact or precise way. One of the quotes that uses this word in this second context is success has to do with deliberate practice. Practice must be focused, determined, and in an environment where there's feedback. As educators and course designers, it's really important for us to think about what are the things that we need to have deliberate practice in order to improve the impact of our teaching, or what are the things that we want our students to have better command of? What are the learning outcomes that we're concerned of? And therefore, how do we design deliberate practice into our courses? So, the first journal activity that I want you to reflect on this week is based on my career goal to achieve blank this semester, I'm going to deliberate on the decision to blank. So, this could be something that you're going to eliminate or stop participating in, something that you're going to accelerate, or something that you're going to promote and collaborate with at a higher level or a deeper level in order to make sure it assists you in meeting your career goal. For those of us who are faculty with teaching responsibilities, as we look forward to the fall semester, we're thinking about what are the parts of our courses where we have learning objectives that we need to have deliberate consideration to be able to either update the concept, approach it in a new way, to make sure that our students are achieving in the easiest way possible. Another reason why we want to deliberate on our courses for this fall is to think about, is there a way that I can teach this that will bring it more in alignment with my goals and passions as an educator or scholar? What do I need to do to make this course its best? As educators, we all want the modules in our course to not just teach our students, but hopefully inspire them and motivate them to change not just their own lives, but their communities. So my call to action in this video is to ask you to think about, how might my students and I benefit from deliberate practice? What are the specific decisions that we need to make and the actions that support those decisions that could bring us to greater satisfaction and greater alignment in the goals for the course? One example that I can think about specifically is many of my students really struggle with time management. So, how do I organize my course in such a way that there are routines and systems that students feel comfortable as they are using the scaffolding from one skill to the next? What are the bridges between one experience and another experience? What are the bridges between application? We've all heard the adage, practice makes perfect. As this video indicates, It's difficult to do really deep work and deep thinking, especially in a deliberate way, if we're overwhelmed. So, one thing that I'm thinking about as I look at my previous iterations of the courses I'm teaching is where are there places where I can redirect students' attention and students' focus and create experiential assignments that are not requiring reading or writing assignments that might be redundant? How can we be more integrated in our teaching methodology? So, deliberate practice is also important for our growth as professional educators. What are you doing this summer and in the weeks between now and the start of school to make sure that you're ready to be at your best by the start of the school day? So, my next set of videos is really going to be based on high impact practices because I believe that as we all are striving to be high impact professors, really figuring out what are the one or two high impact practices that we can excel in our courses this year is going to give us the most mileage in terms of a strategy that deepens the student experience as well as ours. And so, that's one of my goals for my business um, this year as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you haven't already done so, please follow me on Instagram, Threads, or LinkedIn. Appreciate you.